Macmillan Audio presents Betrayal. Written by Phillip Margolin. Read for you by Thérèse Plummer. Part 1. 911. The Present. Chapter 1. Shortly before Megan Radcliffe's favorite show started, a very odd event occurred that was followed by a horrifying event. The show started at 8, so Megan walked to her kitchen at 7:50 to make a snack. To get to the kitchen, she passed a window that looked across the street at the home of Margaret and Nathan Finch and their 2 children, Annie and Ryan. Megan saw a woman pounding on the Finch's front door. She was shouting, but Megan couldn't hear what the woman was saying. Megan watched for a moment. Then she went to the kitchen, fixed some cheese and crackers, and headed back to the living room. She had taped the show, so she wasn't worried about missing any of it. At some time between 8:05 and 8:10, she passed the window again and saw the woman leave the porch and walk away from the Finch's house. That was the odd event. Megan's show paused for a commercial at 8:15, and she looked out the window in her living room that faced the Finch house. The light from the Finch's living room illuminated the porch, but no one was on it. At 8:30, when her show ended, Megan heard a car stop across the street. She recognized Arthur Proctor, who taught English at Marie Curie Middle School, walking to the Finch's front door. She saw him ring the bell, then she saw him go inside. She had finished her snack and then took her plate to the kitchen. When she returned to the living room, she saw Proctor bolt out of the Finch house, leaving the front door wide open. Megan opened her front door and walked toward the teacher. He looked horrified. "What happened?" Megan shouted. Proctor waved her away. He had his phone out and was shouting into it. This is what Megan heard. 911, what is your emergency? They're all dead. Sir, who am I speaking with? Sorry, I'm Annie's teacher, Arthur Proctor. I came to the house to talk about Annie's scholarship, and I found them. Found who? Everyone. The Finch family. They're all dead. The Folly of Youth. 10 years earlier. Chapter 2. Robin Lockwood's first-year contracts class at Yale University's law school was held in a large classroom where 6 rows of desks curved in a graceful arc from one side of the room to the other in front of the professor's podium. Robin tried to hide from the professor by sitting 3 seats in from one end in the last row. Despite her best efforts at camouflage, Professor Dawkins found her on the second day of class and posed a hypothetical question that presented facts that were similar to the case she had read the night before, but added an unsettling twist. Having a really good memory had made life easy in college, but Robin had discovered that law school required much more than just memorizing facts. You had to be able to solve puzzles, because the professors were always challenging you with problems that made it impossible for you to put a square peg fact in a round hole situation. When the professor zeroed in on Robin, Robin's stomach clenched the same way it did at the beginning of a fight in the octagon. Robin could solve problems in a cage fight with an arm bar or a right cross, but she suspected that she would be thrown out of Yale if she cold-cocked her professor. So, she took a deep breath, thought for a moment, and gave an answer that made Professor Dawkins smile. "Very good, Miss Lockwood," Dawkins said just as class ended. "Great answer," said the woman seated next to Robin. "Thanks. I was really sweating," Robin answered as she shut her laptop and stowed it in the duffel bag that contained her workout gear. "Samantha Jefferson, but everyone calls me Sam," the woman said as she held out her hand. "Robin Lockwood," Robin said as she shook it. "I'm in a study group that's meeting in an hour," Sam said as they headed for the door.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?